What's up, guys? Luke here. Today we're going to be looking at how to raid for resources with Barch. I know I've showed you that in another video. We're just going to do another one. And then also, after that, I'm going to CCC. I got dragons training my barracks. We're going to go ahead and do a dragon raid. I'm going to show you how to raid with dragons at Town Hall 8. Alright, so first let's see if we can't find a good matchup. Now, as I said before in my previous videos, you're always looking for full pumps and mines. If you find full storages, that's great too, but a lot of times they're in the village, harder to get to. And the pumps and mines are almost always on the outside. So you want to look for those. Now, if you find a base where it's decent to get to, then you might want to go in and get those storage, the storages. But then again, a lot of times it's not easy to get to. So, like I said, full collectors, those pumps and mines, that is the way to go. And that's what we're looking for. But I don't know, at least for me, okay, these are half full, so that's good. We're going to go ahead and hit that. If you look at the elixir collector right there, you see how that's halfway full with elixir? That right there is a good sign, because, and if you see also that he doesn't have anything else in his storages, that's a good sign as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my barbs where they can quickly get that loot. Sometimes I like to take goblins with me as well, but Barch is nice because you can use it to cut into the walls too. It's pretty much an all-purpose thing. So we're going to drop barbs basically right on the outside. Everything is on the outside except for this one over here, but we can snipe that with archers across those walls. I'm going to put some archers here because I want to get that. Right, the dark elixir. So as you can see, we're pretty much getting all the loot. And this is going to be a pretty good take with minimal searching, I might add. So we're going to drop the rest of our barbs here, distract them, and then we're going to drop some archers behind them here. Now, after we've gotten all the loot, which is happening pretty quickly for us, we want to see if we can't get 50%. So I'm going to go ahead and snipe. That's not going to be able to snipe, so we're going to have to drop a couple archers. Drop a couple archers there, get that knocked out. Oh, there's still one over here. We can get that finished up. About 2,000 gold in there. So yeah, that's everything. All the loot was in the collectors. You see that? So now we're going to go ahead and drop some over here. Drop our last barbs. Drop some archers. Now we're going to definitely be able to get 50% because we got 48. Just a couple things left to go. So there we go, 50%. Okay, we have 9 archers left. We're switching rating comps. So even though there's really nothing left to get, we're just going to drop our troops. Finish this off. Alright, so as soon as we're done, we're going to go ahead and surrender because we're not going to use our Barb King or our Clan Castle troops for this raid. We pretty much accomplished everything we were trying to do on this one. Got a good loot bonus there. Gold 2. Nice that they increased the loot bonuses. But what we're looking here is at 126,000 gold and 120,000 elixir with very, very cheap rating comp. That only costs me 30,000 elixir and I got 120,000 elixir. So net bonus, net gain, after you add in the loot bonus of 100,000 elixir, as well as a good bit of gold there too, which is important. Now I have all my workers going, and that means I have a couple of days to raid for my loot to get it back up. So that's kind of nice. When you get, you know, all your workers going, that means you work hard to get your loot in there, and then they go at it for a couple of days, and it gives you a break to be able to get more loot. So kind of a cycle, but I'm gonna go ahead and gem these drags. Do one more. Alright, so we got a full dragon army now. And sometimes people like to use rage, so I'm going to go ahead and... The thing about... Now, one thing that would be nice for the update is because you can go to the army camp and drop a dragon. Now, I'm not going to do that, obviously, because I just gemmed it. But you can drop a dragon and not worry about it, and maybe train a couple archers, a couple barbs, whatever. Maybe some hog riders. But you don't... You can't drop a dragon in your spell factory. Or drop a spell, rather. You know, cancel a spell once it's already been made, which is kind of silly. And I think they need to change that. So something pretty standard, pretty straightforward. Alright, so we got all of our dragons here. And I don't like to use dragon raids unless it's in war because it's a very expensive raiding comp. Each dragon costs 36,000 That's a whole entire Barch army right there. Alright guys, so I didn't end up actually going and switching that spell. I wanted to get that rage because that's really the spell comp that I use with dragons. So I just went and dropped it on the barbs, gave him a free spell. Kind of a waste, but then again I want to make sure this is nice. So I got 2 heals and 1 rage here for you. And I went ahead and got a different CC composition. My clan hooked me up with level 4 Hog Riders, so I got 5 of those. And obviously filled up my camps with dragons. So I got 10 level 3 dragons. So now we're going to go ahead and try and see if we can find a decent base. Now, the strategy you want to use with those... Sure, we can disable the shield there. The strategy you want to use with your dragons is... This is a Town Hall 7 base. It only has 1 air defense. It's right on the outside. All I'd have to do is... I wouldn't have to drop my CC. I could probably drop 8 dragons, knock that air defense out, and it would take the whole entire base over. There's one over here, but it's getting upgraded, so we're fine with that. But I think we want to find something that's a little bit more... on our caliber. Now this right here, this base is a little bit closer to a base you'd actually see in war, but it's got a funky setup. He's really put his town hall really close to the edge of the wall here on the left side, and so that's not necessarily going to be something you'll see a lot in war. But what I would do is I would probably drop my hogs on this side. They would go ahead and take that 1 air defense out. Then I would only have 2 air defense left to take of the whole base, and I use my heal and spell. So we're going to go into the next battle. We're not going to let that one start. Get something a little more realistic. This guy has decent loot. He has 1 air defense down. That's always a good sign. But that's not conducive of what a war raid is actually going to be like. And that's when you're going to be using dragons the most. At least, that's when I use them the most. Some people do like to use them for regular raids, but you have to find a raid that has a lot of resources to even make them worth it. So, this base, he's got 3 air defense. One of them's at level 4, 2 of them are level 5. And he's got a lot of space over here next to his town hall and his air defense. That's probably because he has big bombs there. I'm just going to go ahead and hit this one. Well, you know what? It doesn't have a lot of resources. We're going to go to the next one. Alright. That one doesn't have a lot of resources either. If I get 100k on everything... Alright, these air defense aren't that great, but it'll give you an idea what the way the spread is. Now... One thing I noticed when I'm looking at this base, I see these holes right here and right here. Those are big bombs or Teslas. So we want to avoid those because we're dropping our hogs. So I think the best area to drop our hogs is here because it'll hit that cannon and hopefully go to the air defense next. So we're going to go ahead and drop our hogs here. They're all going to go in there. And if we're lucky, they will knock out that air defense. If not, the dragons should still be able to take it out because those are not perfect. Gonna knock out that air defense, and we'll see how much they can do. There probably is, if they can knock out that wizard tower, that'd be sweet. Nope. Okay, so we got 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, and so we're gonna go ahead and start dropping our drags. We went ahead and knocked out that 1 air defense over here. These air defense are kind of on this side of the base. They're more in the middle, but so we're actually gonna drop from this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spread them in a line along these gold mines. So we're just going to kind of drop them down like that. And then I like to save my Barb King. A lot of times I'll drop him on the side so he can start getting those side buildings so it'll keep the drags focused in the middle. Now my dragons are starting to get hit, but it's a level... We're going to figure out the best way to use that spell. I'm going to go ahead and drop a heal right about here. Should be able to get the maximum amount of heal on that one. It's going to take that out. Now all our air defense down, so we definitely know that everything's going to be good on this one. Now, when I start hitting the town hall, a lot of times I like to just throw a rage on them. Probably don't have to use any more spells for this raid, but I just want to show you how the spell comp goes. And this guy's getting hit pretty hard, so I'm going to throw a spell down here, see if I can't get everybody. That was kind of a waste, but it's okay. And that's pretty much it. You want to sweep across the base, kind of like that in a line. And there it is, 3 stars. So, we got a decent amount of loot. Wasn't enough to pay for all of our dragons, but that's okay. This is just kind of show you guys how it works. So yeah, just in closing, I wanted to just say that, you know, dragon raids are really successful for war because you saw how powerful that was. I don't think I lost a single dragon on that raid. Went ahead and just swept right across of his base. So I think it's important to note that when you're raiding with dragons, it's extremely powerful, successful, and you're easily able to get 3 stars if you deploy your spells and dragons right. The other thing to notice, though, is that I did not make my elixir back that I used for those dragons. I ended up using 360,000 elixir for those dragons, and I only got 86 back, maybe, and then plus the 11 for the loot bonus, but that's just not near enough on those dragons. So I think it's important to note that, of the 2 raiding strategies, Barch or Dragons, obviously Barch is the one you want to use for everyday raids, because with dragon raids, they're just too expensive to use unless you're getting a significant loot bonus from winning the clan war, and that's where they come into play and they're more effective. You can also use it for a pushing strategy, because as you saw, I got 24 trophies off that one. Pretty easy trophy gainer. But anyways, that's it for this video. Coming up next, I want to go ahead and do a compilation of all the dragon raids our clan has been able to do in the last clan war. Maybe set up some music and play those all back to back, so you can just kind of watch and see. And I'll maybe cut in here and there and give some commentary. But I want to throw the best way to learn how to do dragon raids is number 1, to do them obviously, and number 2, just to watch raids. So I'm going to throw up some dragon raids for you next, and keep on clashing, guys. I'll see you in the next video.